Hey everyone, welcome back to Relationship Reset Academy. I'm Michael Flynn, and with over 15 years of experience as a relationship counselor, I've seen firsthand how tricky it can be to navigate the space between friendship and romance. Today, we're tackling a situation many of you have been in, trying to get your ex-boyfriend back when you're still friends. It's not as simple as just jumping back into a relationship. It takes strategy, patience, and a lot of emotional clarity. So, if you're wondering how to make it happen without jeopardizing the friendship, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear game plan to help you reconnect and potentially turn that friendship into something more. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of the tips and strategies I share to help you reset your relationships. Now, let's get started. So, you're friends with your ex. That's a tricky place to be, isn't it? On the one hand, you're still in their life, yay. But on the other, you're stuck in the dreaded friend zone. If that's got you feeling confused and maybe even a little frustrated, don't worry, you're not alone. The good news? You can turn this around. Here's how. Step 1. Assess your friendship and get clear about what you want. Before you do anything, you've got to take a long, hard look at your friendship. Are you and your ex genuinely just friends, or is there still a spark lingering between the two of you? The worst thing you can do is pretend to be completely fine with being just friends, if your heart still wants something more. So, take a moment to really evaluate your feelings. Are you holding on because you want him back, or are you simply trying to maintain a friendship to avoid the pain of the breakup? Now I get it, it can be hard to admit that you're not fully over him. But you have to be honest with yourself here. Ask yourself questions like, do I want him back because he's the one, or is it because I'm afraid of being alone? Or, is this a genuine desire to reconnect, or am I just chasing a feeling from the past? This step is crucial because it helps you define what you truly want. Are you in this friendship because you're seeking closure, or do you genuinely hope to rekindle a romantic relationship? If you want him back, be honest with yourself about the intention behind your actions. You can't move forward with any strategy if you're unclear about your end goal. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be 100% sure right off the bat. Take your time to figure this out, but make sure you're aware of your motives. Step 2. Create a healthy space for both of you. This is where things start to get a little tricky, but it's essential. Once you've figured out what you really want, it's time to establish boundaries. Now I know what you're thinking. But we're friends, shouldn't we be able to hang out like we did before? Yes, you absolutely can. But remember, to get your ex-boyfriend back, you need to approach this friendship with respect for his space and your own emotional well-being. When you're in the friend zone, it's easy to fall into old habits, like texting all the time or hanging out way more than you should. But here's the thing. If you're always there, he won't miss you. And if he doesn't miss you, he won't feel the attraction that might bring you closer together. So, this is where you need to pull back a little. Not in a dramatic, I'm ignoring you now way, but more in a, I'm going to live my life, and I'm not going to be waiting around for you way. This doesn't mean you ghost him or stop talking to him altogether, but try to reduce the frequency of your contact. Be responsive when you chat, but don't always be the one reaching out. Let him initiate sometimes. By doing this, you give him the space to miss you, and that absence will make him realize what he's lost. This is a subtle but powerful tactic. It's about maintaining a healthy balance. Give him room to breathe, but don't disappear completely. Also, be mindful of how much emotional energy you're putting into this friendship. If you're constantly putting yourself out there, and he's not reciprocating, it might be time to reevaluate whether this friendship is truly serving both of you in the way you want. By creating this space, you're not playing games, you're simply allowing time for both of you to reflect and appreciate what you've shared. And remember, while you're respecting his space, make sure you're taking care of yourself too. Living your own life with purpose will help you maintain the balance you need. Step 3. Let the attraction build naturally. You've probably heard this a million times, but it's worth repeating. Attraction can't be forced. This is a crucial point in your process of getting your ex-boyfriend back. If you're constantly trying to make him fall for you again, all you're doing is pushing him further away. That kind of pressure never works. Instead, let the attraction build naturally, and that starts with you focusing on yourself. Think about this. When you were first dating, were you obsessed with him every second of the day? Probably not. You were probably living your life, doing your thing, and the attraction between the two of you built over time because you both had your own lives. The same principle applies here. You need to take a step back and make sure you're still living the life that makes you happy. Keep doing the things you enjoy, focusing on your passions, and showing up as the confident, self-assured woman you are. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of getting him back, but you can't make him feel attracted to you if you don't feel good about yourself first. When you put your energy into your own growth and well-being, the attraction naturally follows. You're showing him that you don't need him to feel complete. And here's the thing, when he sees that you're happy without him, he'll start wondering what he's missing. For more on how to reignite that spark without seeming desperate, visit romancedictionary.com/x. There's a whole treasure trove of secrets to help you out there. Step 4. Have meaningful conversations and build emotional connection. This is where you really start to work your magic. But here's the secret. It's not about having deep conversations every single day or constantly trying to prove how much you care. Instead, it's about making the conversations you do have count. Focus on creating an emotional connection that goes beyond small talk. What I mean by that is this: when you chat, don't just talk about surface-level things like what's happening at work or what's on Netflix. Talk about real stuff. Share your thoughts on things that matter to you, your goals, and how you've been growing as a person. Ask him about his life, not just the superficial details, but the things that make him tick. Get to know each other again, on a deeper level. This is where things shift from being just friends to something more. Through these conversations, you'll both rediscover what made you connect in the first place. And as you share more meaningful moments, he'll start to see you in a new light. The emotional bond you're building can help reignite the attraction you once had for each other. But be careful, don't rush things. You don't need to get into deep emotional territory too soon. Let it happen naturally, and don't try to force a vulnerable moment just for the sake of it. Let him see the real you, and give him space to open up in his own time. It's about reconnecting emotionally, not pushing him to reveal everything all at once. Step 5. Know when to give it time. Patience. It's a word that gets tossed around a lot, but here's the truth: it's one of the most powerful tools you have in your arsenal. Even if everything is going great and you're following all the steps, you can't rush this process. Sometimes you have to just let things breathe and let time work its magic. Yes, you may feel anxious or frustrated at times, wondering if he's going to come around or if your efforts are paying off. But the reality is, relationships take time to rebuild. The attraction and emotional bond won't happen overnight, no matter how much you want it to. If you rush things, you risk pushing him away or sabotaging the process. So, here's the key: stay patient and stay steady. Give him time to miss you and reflect on your friendship and everything you shared. If you try to rush him into a decision, he'll feel pressured and may pull back. But when you give him space, he'll come to his own conclusions. In the meantime, continue doing your own thing. Don't put your life on hold waiting for him. This is why you have to take a deep breath and trust the process. When the time is right, things will naturally fall into place. It's all about patience, understanding that timing is everything, and knowing when to step back and let things unfold. And in the meantime, keep focusing on building yourself up. Remember, you've got this. Time and patience will help you find the right balance and allow things to develop at their own pace. And if you're ready to really understand how to get your ex to miss you and want you back, I've got something special for you. Head over to romancedictionary.com/x to get some amazing insights that will give you an edge in your situation. You deserve to know exactly how to win him over, and I've got the tools to help. Alright, I hope these steps help you on your way to getting back with your ex-boyfriend. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Relationship Reset Academy. Hit that bell to get notified whenever we drop new videos, and leave a comment. I want to hear from you. What's your situation? What are you struggling with? Let's keep the conversation going. And be sure to check out the links in the description for even more tips and resources to get you closer to your goals. Thanks for watching, and remember, you have the power to reset your relationship and make it work. See you in the next video.